Good morning, and welcome. Let me get my mic over here so you can actually hear me. Hopefully, that is better. Welcome to the break room. And yeah, today we're talking about rewriting the leadership diss track. Yes, I said diss track. Maybe if you've been following me for a little while, you might know that I have a worksheet. I mean, worksheet. I have a workshop that's entitled Rewrite Your Diss Track, Rewriting Your Diss Track. And basically, the concept behind that is being intentional surrounding how we combat the negative thought loops or just negative um, bombardment that really sometimes comes with leading, with in many ways with life. But in the workshop, I talk specifically about things like discouragement or disappointment, things like that. And so I came up with these D's that we kind of get out there and attack. And the idea behind that is when we're discouraged, when we're disappointed, when it's heavier than that, when we feel dismay, things get super heavy. And if we don't have a plan, if we don't have a lifeline set in place, we can get stuck there. And it becomes this diss track that's playing over and over and over again in our minds. And what is the effect of that? Now, carrying around that kind of negativity and not having it release ever is a big deal because it will then start to eat away not only at our ability to lead properly, we will lead our teams into this same sort of negativity if we don't break it, because we'll be leading from that space. We'll be leading through that filter. But not only will it do that, which also kind of creates a recurring cycle for us, we will start to do some damage to our own selves. We're not meant to kind of just float and soak in that negative mindset, that negative mind loop, and it really will start to do damage. It can do damage from our mental standpoint, our emotional standpoint, but also from our physical standpoint. Some things that kick in. So today, I just wanted to float out there this question for you guys to chew on. And it's what is the recurring negative loop or recurring self criticism, because maybe that's where it's coming from, that plays in your head when things get messy. And just hitting me just now, what is that negative loop that's playing in your head so often that it's not just about when things get messy? Maybe that negative loop or that self criticism starts to be the origin story a little bit, and it's turns into why things get a little messy. Ooh, that might be a topic for another conversation. But for today, what's that negative loop? What's that self-criticism? Naming it is important because if you name it, then you can set your intention more properly on how you're going to combat it, how you're going to attack it, or how you're going to acknowledge it, because maybe it's just the acknowledgement that we're looking for so that we can make our other decisions around that situation. Because there's some things that we're going through, let's just be honest, that are heavy enough to where it's not that we are going to wish them away. Okay, they are present, it's here. But we can choose how we navigate space around that thing. We can navigate the space around that mood, that concept, that harm, that hurt, um, that reality of, maybe let's kind of get this into a business standpoint, that reality that numbers are going down and that you need something new or something big has to happen in order to turn things around. That could be your reality today, but being in a negative loop of whatever that thing is, or a negative loop of self criticism, will hamper and distract you from solution. So that's what this is about today, finding, naming that negative loop or self criticism so that we can get after it, right? So, one thing you want to do again, identify the internal critic, right? We could be getting criticism from outside, but what are we doing internally? What are we doing? What are we saying to ourselves? Okay, that's super important. Identify that. Okay, because we want to be able to critique when necessary. We should be the first ones putting ourselves through the filter. But are we doing damage by the negative talk that we sometimes do to ourselves? Are we leading a lot of sentences with "you will never" or "you are always" or fill in the blank? What is the thing that you say to yourself that may not be the right thing you need to hear in order to get you motivated and ready to step into your next steps and solutions around that thing, right? We all have it. I have a couple myself, right? And but what are you doing to combat that? And then try moving away from how I just started some of these things, the always, right? Or the nevers, but then also moving from I should or I should have or I should have did, and then more to I choose, because the choosing is the intentionality. So moving closer and more toward forming your thoughts and your intentions and your moves around choosing. Okay. Because when we use the word should, we're implying some sort of negativity or failure in the first place, or we're deciding what we're grading ourselves against. Um, we can know that something that we need to hit. There's some standards to hit, and we go hit those standards. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that we have a make believe world. What I'm saying is that if we're comparing ourselves to something and it's always about what we should do, should have done, we're spending our energy there instead of I choose to, and here's what I'm going to do, right? We start talking those positive narratives, those positive um, inclinations out loud to ourselves, and we get it done. We could do it. We take more steps forward than we do back. And when we do get hit with something unexpected, or maybe we're forecasting and we see something down the road, that gives us more opportunity to prepare. We can bounce back from the unexpected quicker as well if we've already rooted in the language of what we choose instead of what we should, right? Okay. And then you want to craft that new narrative. Okay. It's like I said, craft the new narrative for your next chapter of leadership. You know what? You woke up this morning, okay? You're still breathing, you're still here. So there's still time to adjust how we approach our leadership, how we approach who we are in the way that we lead. Okay, so let's start to rewrite and recraft a new approach to how we're going to handle things when they get a little messy, or how we're going to prevent our own negative loops and our own self criticisms from potentially creating the mess. Ooh, y'all, that's a big one. Um, so homework. I love this. Your action step this week is write down your most common distract thought, that most common thing, and then rewrite it, okay, as a truth statement. For example, I'm failing becomes I'm navigating a steep learning curve. It's a steep learning curve. You're not failing. You just haven't figured out yet what those next things are to kind of get you over the hump. You can do this. I believe in you. And guess what? The world is going to be better for the work that you do because it's leadership at the end of the day, great leadership that's going to pull us through all of the things that we are uh, walking through, right? All the shakeup, all the things. So get out there, rewrite those diss tracks this coming week. Let me know how it goes. Drop it into the comments. Let me know in the community page what is that negative loop that keeps you. And if you've already come up with a plan, if you've already come up with a way to combat that, share that out so that the rest of the community can benefit from the work that you've already done. All right, guys, we'll see you next week in the break room. Bye.